Hello, my name is Sura. I'm a meditation coach and trainer. Today, talking about releasing relationships that no longer serve you. This is a unique talk in that if I could create a subtitle to it, it would be releasing the negative emotions in the relationships that no longer serve you. You're all here and just contemplate a relationship that you're feeling maybe frustrated or hurt or upset about, and see if you can take a moment just to breathe and tune into, what's the thing that's bothering you? What is the specific action or actions that have happened? So just take a moment to contemplate that. And now let yourself drop into your body, into your gut area, deep inside your core. Take a breath and tune into the emotion that it brings up for you. What's the emotion? Where do you get hit? And let yourself become aware of the emotion and let yourself be completely honest. This is you acknowledging your own true feeling. So, what's really coming up for you in this? And then letting it go. And the reason we're going through this exercise is that sometimes we may think about releasing a relationship, but if we haven't released the underlying pattern or trigger of the negative emotion, we can attract a relationship like that back into our lives. Have you ever experienced that? Sorry. Have you ever experienced that, you attract the same kind of romantic partner over and over and over again? You think you're over it. You close that relationship, the next one pops up. So it's really important to have an awareness of the deeper underlying emotion and how that gets triggered. And healing that core emotion. Today, I'll walk you through 7 signs that a relationship is no longer serving you. This talk is for people who want to live a life of intention. You want to have an aligned life, a life of purpose and positive focus, where you have the ability to reach your potential. You're not here to waste your time to go along with whatever's happening around you, but you are somebody who wants to consciously create your life. And that also means consciously creating the relationships around you and who you let into your personal space, who you allow to affect you, who you, if you are somebody that wants to create this life for yourself, a life of balance, purpose, alignment, then that also means practicing discernment, having boundaries around your personal, physical, energetic, emotional space. And it's really hard to create something beautiful and awesome when you are constantly surrounded by people who are bringing you down, or they're engaging in toxic patterns and behaviors, and they're wasting your time and energy. So it's, it's, I would say, a practice of compassionate detachment. We can have compassion for people who are like this and accept them. It doesn't mean we have to accept them into our inner circle, into our intimate space, if that space isn't being fully respected and honored. And we get to choose. We get to choose how we want to be in relationship. We get to choose what kind of relationships we want, what relationships we want to nurture. So I'm going to just start with 7 signs that these relationships may no longer be serving you. And we'll talk a little bit about this. It doesn't mean that you have to cut this person out of your life, but it's allowing the relationship to take its own natural shape and course organically as well. You can have that option. So it's up to you how you want to um, be in or without that relationship, and how you want to release it. Do you want to allow it to shape shift into a new form of relationship, or do you really need to take space with this relationship that's constantly causing you emotional disturbance and upheaval and distracting you from your focus? So, just, what are those relationships that just throw you, right? And they can be just as valuable. So, we are going to go through this and then also talk a little bit about how we want to allow these relationships to take shape. So, the first sign that you're ready to release the energy of a relationship is that after you've communicated your needs and your boundaries, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, they keep engaging in the same pattern that doesn't work for you. So you've already clearly communicated and tried to work out with them that these things that you do that I feel don't respect my time, space, energy, whatever it may be. Um, I feel upset, I feel sad, I feel this, and you've already expressed your feelings and your emotions, and then they choose to engage in that same behavior after you've expressly told them, maybe it's one time, two times, three times, that that doesn't work for you. So that's one sign. The second one is a lack of reciprocity. Are you somebody who is always giving and giving of your time, giving of gifts, giving of things, and the other person's always taking advantage, and there really isn't an ebb and flow of giving and receiving in that relationship, or I would say caring, the energy of truly caring for one another. Does that person ask you how you are? I mean, and when they ask you, do they really care about you? Or is it just you only caring about them and what's good for them? Are they thinking about what's good for you also? So when there's a lack of reciprocity, three, when you no longer feel positive emotions in your relationship, you no longer feel joy or love or excitement to see this person. You no longer feel that sense of connection and bonding. It just feels flat. And when you think about spending time with this person, it just, your energy drops. Four, you actually feel negative emotions constantly with this relationship. It's a constant emotional disturbance and upheaval. It's being upset, it's feeling frustrated, it's feeling annoyed, agitated, anxious, even. So, negative emotions drain your energy. They just take a toll on your energy, right? So they're just harder on you, and it takes a lot to process. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night thinking about what they did or what they said, this type of thing where it's like actually affecting the well-being of your life, you really have to take that into consideration. So if it's like, the small things that are bothering you and you're having an overreaction, yes, it's good. It's healthy to look at yourself and your own triggers. But if it's constantly happening, you've got to wonder why you're engaged and how you're engaged in this relationship. The fifth sign is that you feel energetically, you feel heavy and you feel tense and you feel burdened, like obligated to be the one to do the thing. Like you should be doing this and you should show up like this. And there's a should feeling to it. And there's the energetic quality of feeling pushed and pulled, that push pull feeling. You just feel like thrown off center, like just way thrown off base. And they might not even say anything directly, but there's something underneath energetically that's really throwing you off balance. I mean, it's taking you way off your focus. It's taking you totally out of alignment. It is not supporting your spirit and your spiritual well-being. So look at the energy that this relationship creates for you. 6, you don't feel like you can be yourself in the relationship. And in fact, if you are yourself, if you're honest, if you tell the truth, if you are big in yourself, you can get punished for that in this relationship. So that in order to function in the relationship, you have to be a smaller version of yourself, another version of yourself, a fake version of yourself. You have to kind of pretend to be there. It's like that's the feeling. You can't be your true self in that relationship. Your authentic self is not supported in the relationship. And the 7th sign is when you feel like you've outgrown the relationship. You can no longer grow. You feel really stagnant and flat. And the things that you used to enjoy, whatever that might have been, just don't bring you joy and energy anymore. You're just not into it. So they might still be engaged in the same activities that you used to do together, but now you have outgrown that relationship and it can really no longer provide a sense of expansion for you. And in fact, it's holding you back and in some ways kind of bringing your energy down. So that's the last sign.